sneak peek at least into their recommendations?
Well, I will not go very much into detail in the climate plan today, I suppose, but nevertheless, my name is Poul Morthorst. I'm professor here at Digital Management, but I'm also a member of the Danish Climate Council. We are a small council of 7 members that are supposed to advise the government on climate issues. And most of us are actually economists, so we are supposed to advise them on the best way to achieve our greenhouse gas reductions in the future. So, but I will actually more go up into the helicopter here right from the start and show you a little bit about the challenge we have in front of us. You all know about the Paris Agreement, no doubt about that. You know that we're going this years out here, CO2 greenhouse gas emissions up here, and we have the blue scenario that we have to follow to reach the 2 degrees, not more than the 2 degrees. And no, it was back in 2015, and we all clapped our small hands and said, yeah, everything, now we're moving in the right direction. And certainly we are moving in the right direction. But let's take a close-up. Now, in these figures are from 2017, 168 countries have actually ratified the agreement covering these 88% of global greenhouse gases. That is certainly quite nice, although the USA has left us. But nevertheless, we can do without them, if it has to be in that way, yes. So, but let's take a close-up of these figures. And now we're only looking at the time period until 2030. You have the 2-degree range here, and you have the baseline up here. What would have happened if we did do nothing at all? And then, of course, we have all the countries committing themselves to do something, this 168 countries. And that brings us down to this unconditional case and the conditional case. And as you can see, it brings us actually approximately half the way down to the 2-degree line. So it means that we have approximately half the way to go yet. And then, of course, lately they said, well, we have to be well below the 2 degree, we have to go down to the 1.5 degree. But in my viewpoint, I'm sorry to say that, but it is mostly wishful thinking. So it was just to get all the green parties being involved in this, that they should also clap their hands, but it will be difficult enough to get the 2-degree range actually. So, as you can see, we are still missing at least 11 gigaton of CO2 before we have reached the goal in 2030. So the GAP report from 2017, and that's actually one that we deliver here from DCU. It's a UNIP center that makes this GAP report, and the conclusion is that there will be a significant emission gap in 2030 unless we do something. So more ambitious commitments are needed for those hopefully more than 168 countries. So this is really a huge challenge. And temperatures are rising, as you can see up here. We are no, that was too fast. So we are somewhere up here, and people say, well, some part of it is because of El Nino or La Nina and so on. But as you can see, this is actually El Nino years. Yes, they do have an effect, but even in a neutral year, we still see quite significant temperature rises. And as the director mentions here, 17 out of the 18 most warm years have been recorded within the last 18 years. So again, in my mind, there's no doubt we still have a very strong problem ahead of us. And now, just before the summer holiday, actually these guys came up with a new paper on climate change. And what they're pointing to is actually that there are some tipping points in the system, and this makes it even worse because these tipping points will actually occur when we are just in the range of 1 degree to 3 degrees. Then all these issues will start happening, and we will see that they might actually fall as domino bricks. So some of the other tipping points, those from 3 degrees to 5 degrees and above 5 degrees, when it first got started, we might really have the problem that we cannot go back. It might be an irreversible situation that we have in front of us. And it means that perhaps we not have 100 years to cope with greenhouse gas emission, perhaps we only have 20 years. And certainly there's a huge challenge on your shoulders out here. Yes, guys, now there's something to do here. So, okay, but is this totally hopeless? I don't know, but hopefully not. We have to save the earth in some way or another, yes. So let's just start by looking a little bit on what EU has put in front of us. And actually, you can see the lines up here. Now this is to go until 2030 and the long-term goals. And it looks actually that we are going in the right direction. So it looks nice. And this is how we've been doing in Denmark, Germany, and so on. As you can see, we've actually done quite nicely within these 22 years here. And if we look at the renewable part of it, the yellow spots are those where we already have achieved the 2020 target, and the orange ones are those where we still are missing it, but there's almost no doubt that we will reach our renewable target by 2020, and we will reach our CO2 reduction target in the EU by 2020. So that looks quite nice, actually. And then, of course, we have some targets for 2030. I will not go deeply into those. I think you have seen part of them before. But what is promising that actually they said it should be 27% renewables in 2030. But after the agreement, it was raised to 32%. So that is certainly promising. And again, a number of these different issues to be handled. Yes, it might be technology neutral or technology specific options. That's up to each member country to decide. But nevertheless, I believe we are going in the right direction. The only problem with this one is that it's not distributed on member states. So who will really be the responsible ones? And actually by now we only have the EU level. So, but hopefully we will see that the member countries will really make some efforts to reach this target. And then, just to mention it, we have a transport target. And of course, transport is really one of our Achilles heels. It's a very, very difficult one to cope with. And in my viewpoint, putting up a transport target of 14% in 2030, it is actually quite disappointing. So, and certainly not enough at all. We should do much more within transport. And I don't know if you've seen it, actually the Climate Council has just released a report on electric cars, where we say that we should have at least 500,000 cars in 2030, electric cars. And of course, then we actually suggest that we should ban all diesel and petrol engines from 2030 as well. So we need to get this development going, and I'll come a little bit back to that. But this part is actually a little bit disappointing. So Denmark, well, I believe what we have up here is for the non-ETS sector. So the rest will be covered by the ETS. So you will see, it could actually have been more steep. But it might actually be more steep after the new agreement. It's not incalculated in this part. So thank you for that. I think it's a promising agreement. So it again looks quite nice. And if we look at renewables, you see this is the right line, the straight line towards 2050. And actually this was the old suggestion by the government. And in the Climate Council, we actually suggested that it should be raised to 55%. And they did so, yes. So normally they are not listening so very much, but here they actually did what we actually asked them to do. So we are closer. This was only the 50%, so we are closer to the straight line. So again, it looks actually all right. We are on the right track forward. So and you can see that our gross energy consumption in Denmark is going down, and more is actually being covered by renewables. So, and then of course we have this, you have already heard about it. In my viewpoint, it's a little disappointing that there's actually almost nothing on energy efficiency and energy savings. So, I believe we are a country that have had some very strong efforts within that area. And it is a little bit disappointing that we're not going to follow on that. So, but then a new record in Denmark, biogas, yes, 18.6% was of all our gas consumption in Denmark was in July covered by biogas. That sounds quite nice, doesn't it? Because only a few years ago, there's really a boom in biogas, and only a few years ago, actually, biogas was not that far anyway. But of course, it should be said, there's plenty of production of biogas in July, and the consumption of gas in general is low. So perhaps it was quite easy to get this recognized. Nevertheless, let's have a look at what we've been looking at in the Climate Council as well, because the ETS, it should actually handle all the emissions from power and so on. But we have a little bit of problem because it's not working as well as it should. But nevertheless, I'll not go into detail with that today, but have a look at the non-ETS sector. Because as mentioned by Christopher, you can see we have only heating and manufacturing up here, and then agriculture and transport. They have the waste majority of this part. And these are the two sectors that are really difficult to cope with. But nevertheless, we should, of course, do something about it. In the Climate Council, we've come up with a number of suggestions on how we should actually act and what we should put into place to get some CO2 reductions and greenhouse gas reductions. We have the socio-economic costs, the very cheap ones over here, and what really matters on this part up here. So what is important to put in place towards 2050. So as you can see, we have electric cars, large heat pumps, and so on over in this part over here. And then we have, just as a guest star, we have biogas because we believe it is important in the system. Just to give you a close-up, we have that electric cars, of course, it is the way to go. But still, I must admit, there's quite a number of barriers. I've just got a small electric car myself, and I can certainly assure you there are some barriers. So it's not that easy. So, but nevertheless, we might still see that these could be supplemented, of course, by hybrid cars in some way. And we might still have the possibility of hydrogen. And now it was questioned, will we see hydrogen in the future energy system? In my mind, yes, we will see hydrogen in the future energy system because we will have too much electricity from wind power, and through electrolysis we will convert it to hydrogen. And then we will boost the biogas with hydrogen to methanize the biogas. And actually that means that we will have hydrogen put into our gas grids in Denmark. And to a certain extent I believe it will be needed. So let me just, the individual heat pumps, yes, and certainly it helps that the tax has been put down. And we have suggested that for quite a long time ago in the Climate Council. And again, they have been listening a little bit anyhow. So, and then, of course, this about biogas. But biogas is only because we need it when we have no wind and no solar. So this was just to show you biogas. It's popping up everywhere. And of course, we can do a lot of things with biogas. Also in the transport. In my mind, there's still quite... We might see electric vehicles for person transport, yes, and hopefully it will come. But for the heavy transport, there's still quite a long way to go. If you know how many batteries it takes for a lorry to carry the weight of such batteries just to bring it 100 kilometers, it's quite a heavy task actually. So but perhaps biogas or gas in general can be used here. So let me say a little bit about those technologies, not to be too pessimistic, because I'm actually not so pessimistic, because we have some technologies that really are on the way forward. And you know, photovoltaics, it has developed very, very, very fast, actually, incredible fast. And as you can see, the capacity of wind power, of photovoltaics, is higher than the capacity of nuclear. But of course, we should take into account the utilization time. I haven't done that, its own capacity, but 2 minutes, yes. But nevertheless, it is actually promising. And it's promising that these two, wind and solar, are developing very, very, very fast on the global market. And you can see PVs having growth rates for many, many years for more than 30%. It is actually fantastic. So, and of course, it goes together with a very, very high learning rate. You know what a learning rate is, I suppose. You've all been from a sustainable master. So when we double the capacity, global capacity, then of course the price falls with a certain percentage. And the percentage for photovoltaics has actually been above 20% for many years. And you can see with 30% increase, it takes 3 years to double the capacity, and then the price has fallen by 20%. So no wonder that this photovoltaics, they're really pressing the market, and actually they're pressing the wind power development as well. So it needs wind power to be more and more competitive. And these are prices I just found recently it's actually for Vestas turbines sold from 2012 to 2018, and actually it has decreased by more than 25%. The sales prices on wind power, on average. So something is really happening, and the system, of course, developing. So challenges we are facing, I believe, no, that was too fast. So of course we will need some kind of balancing. We cannot rely on our interconnectors all the time. So, and I believe we have developed many interconnectors to countries abroad, and I believe we are close to the limit. We cannot get any more utility out of those. So we will need some kind of balancing. Fast running capacity, it might be biogas, hydrogen. Batteries, I do not believe in batteries in this way, but it might be, of course, a short-term backup. The long-term storage facility, there we actually have really an opportunity in Denmark, because what should be long-term storage if we do not have gas? Because we have the gas storage facilities in Denmark, and actually, as you can see up here, the small vehicles, we talk about utilizing batteries in electric vehicles, but even if we have plenty of them, it will not matter very much. If we go into district heating, yes, it certainly matters. These are the interconnectors, and up here we have the gas storage facility. So for seasonal storage, gas is actually an opportunity. And of course, it could go together with biogas as well. So now close to finalizing, then actually we only have the transport left. And that certainly is one of our problems. So I think that is it.